Welcome to the Endless Honeymoon Podcast. Natasha, how are you today?
Oh, I'm great.
I'm feeling chipper and excited, and I got a hot topic to bring to our listenership. Natasha and I have been watching the seminal piece of entertainment of our time, Yellowstone.
We love it.
We love it because we are Trump voters, and it speaks to us as rural, real men.
No, it's great acting. Love the girl character.
Come on.
It's violent enough that it keeps Moshe interested.
It's pulpy enough and soapy enough that it keeps you on the hook. All is well with one big exception, and we could use your help here. Now, Natasha does this thing where when we're watching anything that we are watching, now Natasha did say part of a healthy relationship for her is having something that we're watching together, right? Mm-hmm. But usually
not all the time, but I mean, we should try to find our interests matching at some point.
Now, usually what Natasha wants to watch is a documentary about the history of velvet, or a poet that no one has ever heard of who's trying to publish one last book before lymphatic cancer takes him out. But we found a sweet spot, a Venn diagram, and it's the size of Yellowstone National Park. But here's the issue. We click in to start watching. I'm a 2 a.m. sleeper. Natasha, what time would you say you generally would like to go to sleep?
Between 11 and 12.
So we got a different circadian rhythm. So we're watching the thing, and invariably I hear what I assume is a sound effect of a tractor coming across the ranch, John Dutton's ranch on Yellowstone. But then I realize, no, it is my beautiful, fair wife. She has fallen asleep, and her hardcore sleep apnea is acting up, right? I think.
We've definitely talked about this before.
I think my loving wife is asleep. I'll turn this off. So I'll say, my love, that's how I talk to you, right? I say, my dearest love, my darling, are you sleeping? And she will wake up from a deep slumber and say,
what?
No. You will say, no, I'm not sleeping.
Well, I'm not. When I answer, I'm not. I woke up.
Well, and I will say, would you like me to turn this off so that we can revisit this fair episode? I'm always so cool, by the way, about it.
And I say no, and I just use TV to try kind of lull myself to sleep, and I think you should just get into it.
So then I started again, and then the rumbling comes again. Eventually, I stop it. The next day, she says, oh, Prince of mine, that's how she calls me, let's watch Yellowstone. And we start the episode, and she's like, can you go back a little bit? And we have to go back.
That must be annoying.
47 minutes into the episode. I am wondering what I should do. Should I put my foot down, and the minute I hear a snore, press stop and run out of the room and go downstairs to play a little bit more PlayStation? Should I allow Natasha to watch by herself for 20 minutes before I jump in? What? Fellas, ladies, what do I do?
I remember you and we used to fall asleep together to Richard Attenborough, like Under the Sea documentaries, and that was really peaceful.
Yeah, it was actually...
Maybe we should do that instead.
It was not Richard Attenborough. It was Sebastian the Crab, Under the Sea documentaries. The documentary about the making of the song Under the Sea.
No, it wasn't.
Maybe you're right. Maybe we should watch something that activates me less and you a little more, and then I'll fall asleep. We should be watching these Velvet documentaries.
No, I like comedies, Moshe, and you don't like
Yellowstone
comedies.
is definitely laugh out loud funny at times.
No, I'm saying... No, it's not.
Oh, yes, it is. The plot decisions that they make on that show
are
so fucking absurd that I would call it the comedy of our time.
Okay, well, phone in. Let us know.
We need some feedback.
Well, my point of view is
it's
just
tearing
like...
us apart, guys.
This is what I'm going to do. This is who I am.
Why can't you just...
So just deal with it.
Why can't you just say, oh yeah, I'm falling asleep. I'm getting tired. Let's stop it now.
Every relationship has one partner who falls asleep first. Everyone falls asleep watching things,
but
they all have to deal with it.
The issue isn't the falling asleep. It's the I'm not asleep once the sleep has been identified. What's up with that?
Well, because you've woken the person up, so they aren't
but you're
asleep.
not... you're incapable of knowing that I mean in a more general way?
I mean, it isn't a deep sleep because it just happened.
I don't say, Natasha, are you deeply asleep? Have you fallen into a deep slumber? Are you hibernating for the winter? I merely say, are you sleeping? And you say, no, keep it on, motherfucker. And you put a switchblade to my neck. And that's the part that scares me the most.
All right. I'm just saying, I don't think I can change who I am. I've always done that.
You've always done what?
Like fallen asleep to TV.
And then lied about it when asked.
Well, there wasn't always someone next to me.
All I'm saying is it's not the sleep. It's the part where you say I'm not sleeping and I'm trapped. Either forced to watch a show that I'm supposed to be watching with you that I know I'll be watching the next night again.
Okay,
or,
I'll tell you what you could do.
Okay, tell me what I could do.
Just turn it off and put something else on and let me sleep.
You don't let me do that. You get up and get mad. What do I do, guys? Please help me. Please help us. This is really ripping us apart. Should we take a call to change the subject?
Yes, please.
We're going to call Alina in Seattle.
Hi.
Alina, what's up?
Good. How are you guys?
Oh, we're great. How's Seattle? Has Antifa taken over multiple neighborhoods?
No, I don't know.
They might be right outside your window, dude, honestly.
Yeah, I actually live a little out of Seattle, but yeah, it's close by, but I'm not like in Seattle, but I just moved here. I'm from LA, so I don't really know like the vibe here.
The vibe is anarchy, Alina, and you gotta be careful because the liberals are coming through your window with a Molotov cocktail and they are playing for keeps. How can we help?
I don't know. I don't know what the vibe is over here, but I just moved from LA like a few months ago, so.
Well, how can we help?
Good.
What's up?
So, like I said, I just moved from LA because I met my boyfriend. He lives here, and we've been dating for about 3 months, and we actually been having some problems because he won't kiss me in public, and I'm pretty young, so I don't know if I'm just not like experienced enough to like understand that this is a problem or like it's actually a problem. And
like you want to kiss in public.
What?
You want to kiss in public.
Yes, I want to kiss him in public because it's just like in the moment, you know? Like I'm not like, you gotta kiss me when we go to the store, but it's like in the moment, and then he's just like, oh, that makes me uncomfortable, or like, I don't really want to right now. And so I respected that in the beginning of the relationship, and I was like, okay, like I won't kiss you in public. And I remember like I would have the urge to do it, and then I would just like remember, and I'm like, all right, he doesn't like this. So now I kind of bring it. I kind of want to get to the root of the problem, and I'm kind of like, why is it that you don't like to kiss me in public? Because I've been kind of toning down my emotion and my affection. And so like, what is it? And he basically is just like, the only excuse that he's given me is two things. The first one is, it makes me uncomfortable, and he thinks that people are watching us. And then the other, excuse, he literally told me it's because he's a Cancer and because he bottles his emotions. So I'm like, and then I'm an Aries, so I'm very impatient. I don't care. I'm all in or nothing. So like,
okay, Aries to Aries.
Cancer to Cancer, by the way. Cancer Aries right here.
I know. That's
Cancer
why
Aries
I
right here.
bring this up because I read it in one of the other one of the YouTube comments that someone said that, and I was like, oh, that's interesting because yeah,
but let me tell you, your boyfriend is not someone who really enjoys public displays of affection, and that's like a thing. I think, you know, and I don't think you're going to make him like, where do you really want to make out? Like, do you want to like go to a cafe and kind of like French kiss for 10 minutes?
Are you trying to, are you tongue flicking, or are we doing a quick smooch? Oh, you're trying to like get it in there?
I can't help it that I'm a very like affectionate person, and like, he's super affectionate, but it's like, I guess for him, it's like a time and a place. And for me, it's like, I'm just like, I don't really think about it. I'm just like, I'm not thinking about who's around me. I'm just like doing it because I feel it in the moment.
So when you guys are in private, is he acquiescing to everything and he's open?
Yeah. He's super like 100,000%. But it's like only when we go to like Walmart, he's like, no. Like,
well, I mean,
that is crazy that he doesn't want to French kiss you at Walmart.
Well, I mean, Alina, we all know how erotic Walmart can be. Like when I'm in a Walmart, when I go to, especially in the tire section, I start getting really aroused. Now, how old is he? How old is he?
How old is he?
Yeah.
He's 22. He's gonna be 23 this year, and I'm gonna be 22 this month. So
Okay.
we're very young.
I have some condescending wisdom here. Both of you are actually being immature in different directions. Like the idea that you want to do more than a quick peck in public is to me hella young. I mean, that is youthy. I remember one time I brought this girl to this DJ cafe. It was called Yamama's in Oakland, and I was I was sitting in front of the DJ at a table and just like hardcore making out with her, and the DJ came out of the booth and said, "Hey man, stop doing that. It's disrespectful to me." It was so embarrassing. But when you're young, it feels like making out is like the thing you want to do. So the thing you want to do all the time. So I would say I get it, but I think that you will chill. And he is young because he's embarrassed about kissing a girl in public, right? And like that's also a kind of immaturity.
But like we're not in high school. Like it's like, and it's not even sometimes not even like a whole French kiss. It's just like a peck, and then he's like, "Not right now," and I'm like, "Are you serious?" So
I think you guys have to have some limits. Like maybe in public, you don't like try to arouse him or something, you know?
Well, he does say I do arouse him like with anything, so that's probably what it is then.
We're both aroused right now talking to you. Okay, well, you got to have a rule in your relationship. NTIP. Okay, that's the thing to remember. NTIP. No tongue in public. Okay, that is the new rule. No tongue in public. But really, here's the real thing. Okay, this is probably your first serious relationship, right? You moved all the way to Washington to be with him. Is it his first serious relationship?
Well, we both had one previous serious relationship, but like ours is like really, really like serious.
And it's like grown up because you moved to be with each other. It's feeling like a different level. And so really, this is my real advice. Both of you are figuring out, is what it sounds like. Both of you are figuring out what it means to be in and no, I don't mean to be condescending, but in an adult relationship. You're both figuring that out. And I say this to a lot of people on this podcast. You both have to take a step toward each other. Now, I'm taking you at your word that he doesn't display any sketchiness or shadiness in any other part of your relationship. There's no, okay. So, because, you know, you always got that like, I don't want my side piece to see me kissing in public. You know, the kiss cam in the basketball games, you know?
I don't think it's, I think it's literally just.
It's just this.
Like, aware of surroundings, like.
So both of you taking a step toward each other, that is the work of a relationship. You taking a step back from how affectionate you want to be in public, and he's also got to take a step toward you to be more affectionate than he's comfortable with. You got to tone it down. He's got to tone it up,
and he's got to be okay with a peck. But I do think the no tongue in public is
NTIP.
Great advice, because I don't want to see that. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
and you don't want to be like. Having him get he doesn't want to get a hard on in the hair care aisle.
He doesn't want to get a hard on in the hardware department.
That actually makes me feel better. That actually makes me feel better because I'm like, am I actually too much, or like is he just like? But I agree. Like I think like because right now I feel like I'm the one putting in like the one that's changing. Like he doesn't want me to do this. I won't do it. I act this way. I'll tone it down. But he needs to also do it too, right?
100%. And I have two big thoughts here.
But you could also introduce, like, maybe it's important to me that we have some affection in public. So when I'm feeling something like hand squeeze, like what would you be okay with, you know?
I like that. A kiss on the cheek, squeeze of the hand.
But I won't do tongue in public. That's for us in the bedroom. I just having like a little bit of agreed upon parameters.
So I just had this like realization the other day, which is that most of the time couples, you are with your opposite. You are with the person who fills in the parts of you that aren't developed. So are you too much? Maybe. And that's why he loves you. And is he too like cool in public? Maybe. But that might be part of what you like about him, that he's stoic or he's strong or whatever. And so like part of the development of relationships is everybody making themselves a little bit less comfortable, and so he's got to. And I think the road to him changing, and the road to you getting what you want and him getting what he wants is always communication. It's not fighting, because that's a mistake Natasha. I'll just say that I make with Natasha is sometimes I want to work out the conflict while I'm upset about it. I want to be like, you didn't kiss me. Because I love to make out with Natasha in public, and we actually will fuck in public, and it's not her comfort zone. So when I'm hot about the thing, I don't want to, that's not the time to do it. The time to do it is like, we're having a nice night, we're having dinner. Hey, I've been noticing that I like public affection more than you. That's just part of how I feel loved is by expressing that. And I notice it makes you uncomfortable. I want to have a conversation about how I can get what I want without making you uncomfortable. And then you guys come to an agreement. You know, you guys come, okay, in public, I'm going to squeeze your hand, and that means I want you to kiss me. And if you can find 2 out of 5 times that I squeeze your hand, find the strength to give me a kiss wherever we are.
On the cheek, maybe.
It'll make me feel so special.
But that's a lot to ask of someone, to kiss you on the cheek.
Or whatever it is, just like finding a way for everybody to take a step toward each other. Like you got to tone it down a little bit, and he's got to make it more romantic. And that, right? What do you think?
Totally.
NTIP.
No tongue in public. We don't want to see it. I'm sorry. I don't want to see you on the road to heavy petting. It definitely makes me uncomfortable.
That actually makes me feel so much better because, you know, I was thinking like, am I just too affectionate, or like, I think, and I kind of was stubborn to the fact that like, I didn't want to tone it down, but maybe like, now that you said that, I think it probably would be better if I did. And like, I think it would like make us work more. Because that's literally the only thing that we fight about. Like everything else is like amazing, but that's like the one thing that I'm just like, I moved all the way over here for this, and you can't even kiss me in Walmart. And it's just like,
well,
you know.
I mean, this is the thing about a relationship. You aren't doing anything wrong. It's just so you guys are figuring out how to be in a relationship together. Don't ever take this. I mean, by the way, we're strangers. So you can toss all of this advice. But don't ever take this as like your personality is wrong. It's you guys are figuring out how to take 2 separate things and make it into a third thing, which is the relationship. How do you guys function best in public? Not how do you change yourself to be more like him, but how do you guys find a place where you're being as loved as you deserve to feel, and he isn't being forced to do things that make him uncomfortable. You guys everybody's gotta change and bend a little bit. That's all. You're not too much. You just are figuring out how to be with each other.
So as of now, should I just like be patient then and just like wait for him?
No, you need to talk to him.
Talk to him.
You need to talk to him. And just listen to this and hear what Moshe said.
Every time we talk, we just argue about it. That sounds like...
Do you often talk about it after he rejects you from a kiss?
Yes.
Or after you attempt to kiss him? That's the wrong time to talk about it.
Yeah, you got to talk about it like in morning over coffee, when you're in a good mood. Ask him if there's something I've been thinking about that I'd like to talk about with you.
Yeah.
And then approach it softly, what Moshe said.
Because right now, when you have that conversation, you're embarrassed because you tried to kiss the guy you love, and he's defensive because he's trying to justify why what he's doing isn't unreasonable. If you guys have a real conversation about it, and then...
Where you say, what would you be comfortable with? Would a hand squeeze be okay? And if he's like, no, I don't even want you touching my hand in public, you know, then maybe you'll be like, oh, okay. Because you're trying to meet him halfway a little bit.
Exactly.
And a handhold, like a firm handhold in public, that's nice.
Here's a phrase for you, Alina. I need... affection in public. It's how I feel loved. But I don't need it to be a form that you don't feel comfortable with. I don't need it to be a hardcore open mouth kiss, right? I don't need that. I want that, but I don't need it. But what I do need, I need affection in public to feel loved. What do you need? And then you guys find out what you need. And the cool thing about having open conversations...
Yeah, what do you need? And then listen to what he needs. Maybe he'll tell you something you didn't know, and then you can try to help him or provide that if it's not a big deal to you. I don't know.
And the cool thing about conversations like that is not only do they have a high probability of you getting what you want, they are also information gathering sessions where if you say to him, you're 22, he's 22, you're both young, and you say to him, I need affection in public, and he says to you, well, you have your needs, but I don't give a fuck about those needs. I'll do what I want. Then you go, it's like, moving to Washington was a terrible mistake. It's time to go back to Los Angeles. Despite the taxes that make Southern California nearly economically unlivable, I think I'm getting the fuck out of the Pacific Northwest. So you get both things. You both get to get closer to your partner, or you get to learn that your partner isn't capable of getting closer to you, all of which is valuable information. But never take it as your personality is flawed or you like love too much. This guy's lucky. This guy's lucky to have a girl that's like hot for him in the fucking hair care aisle.
Yeah, well, he just said that he will try to be more affectionate, and I said I'll try to be patient and wait for him to get there. But
I think talking about it in more clear terms, like what we suggested, and actually asking him specifically what would he be okay with. I think having like a new language.
I have a thought. We should probably go, but I have a thought. Natasha and I have conversations a lot about me being messy, right? I'm a bit of a mess. I'm absent-minded. I leave shit around. And sometimes Natasha will say, be less messy. And that to me, I'm like, how? I can't. I don't know what that means. But if Natasha says, can you pick up the dog medication and put it in this drawer? Then I go, aha, right? I can do that. So because being a mess is a part of like my core dysfunction. It's like, it's deeper than just a mess. It's like, it's part of who I am. So when you guys have a conversation like, I will try to be more affectionate, I will try to be more patient, those are nice thoughts. But they are saying kind of, I will try to be a different person. I will try to be a different person. And that's probably not going to happen. You guys are not going to be different people. But if you guys break it down into like, here's what I need. I need a little hand squeeze. I need a kiss on the cheek once in a while in public. Here's what I need. I need to, when people are around, you not to jump on top of me. Like you guys can kind of start to go, these are actual actionable items rather than, okay, I'm going to try to be a different human being, which will never happen. I'm going to try to do these specific things for you, which feels doable and feels possible. That's what I think the conversation you need to have is, and not when you're both embarrassed about it.
maybe I am the problem then, because he's told me this, that I need to not generalize like what makes me upset, and I need to tell him like directly like exactly what we need to do. And I'm just like, in my head that kind of like flies over, and I'm just like, you should just already know. But like now that you said that, I kind of see like that definitely will like probably change a lot of things if if I just ask him like, we should just hold hands, or like, is this okay? And instead of just being like, why didn't you do that? And then I'm like upset.
Well, it sounds like you want to feel in public like he's your man, and that's important to you. And something about like, not ownership, but like that he is with you, and maybe, that's something that you need to tell him, that it's important to you. Because
he might not ever have thought of it in those terms. Like he might have only thought of it like, damn, she's like blowing up my spot and making me feel uncomfortable. He's probably not capable of jumping out of his own frame of reference and thinking, I see. This is how she feels loved. When we're in public and I put my arm around her and kiss her on the cheek, that makes her feel like she's loved in this moment. He might not be thinking about that because he's so busy thinking about his own embarrassment, which, by the way, is a form of immaturity, to be embarrassed by showing love in public. I mean, that's silly. It's like, what is he? Oh, they're going to think I'm a bitch. It's like, who's they? Who's thinking? There's no they. So you're not the problem, and he's not the problem. There is no problem. You're just getting to know each other, and you're trying to figure out how to become closer as a partnership. So I think communication, what do they say? Sunlight is the best disinfectant. Have a real conversation, not an argument about it.
All right, good luck.
That's what we think.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're awesome. Good luck.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, she was sweet.
I wonder how far she wanted to go.
I know. She seems like she was just like totally willing to throw him up against the auto parts department and just start rubbing his inner thigh. But you know what? I really felt what I was saying, like that both of those parties were at a beginning, and they were very, I hate to say it like this, but they were very gendered. It was like both of those things were very gendered. His thing of being like, I can't have some girl all on me. People are going to think I'm soft. And then hers, like, I'm going to like jump his bones. Like both of those instincts needed to be like tempered a bit. And the way you temper it is, they're 3 months into a puppy love situation. And it was kind of sweet, honestly, because it was like, it's new. They're all learning.
And chances are she's had a boyfriend who acted like that a lot with her in public, and she liked that. But this guy's not like that.
Right.
Just a chance that maybe she's had that before. I think that's why she wants it. But
I gotta say, I think we knocked it out of the park with her.
Yeah.
We're pretty good. Should we do another?
Do we have another caller?
Yeah, I think we do.
All right.
We're going to call Shalane in Brooklyn. Shalane, what's up?
Hi,
How
Shalane.
are you?
Hi. Oh my gosh, you said my name right. That's exciting.
Well, we had a phonetic guide, to be honest with you, so we can't take too much credit. Our toxic producer takes about half of the credit.
What's going on, Shalane? How's Brooklyn?
Brooklyn's good. I feel like I live in the most boring part of Brooklyn, but it's good. Boring's good sometimes.
Are you in Carroll Gardens?
No, I'm in Bay Ridge.
Okay.
All right. Well, what's up? How can we help?
Okay, so I'm 29 years old and I really, really want to have a baby. I have a partner. I've been with him for a decade. We live together. We're not married or anything. But basically I'm just like so jealous because social media, like everybody's posting, everybody's getting engaged, getting married, having babies. So very painful for me. And I am happy for other people, obviously. Like, that's great. I love that other people are doing awesome things. But I'm just like, how do I accept the pace my life is going and just live now,
How do you think I feel? All these people posting sold out arenas. You know what I mean? I'm out here trying to sell tickets to the DC Improv, and some YouTuber
can't fathom
that
that
started a
thing.
month ago is playing the goddamn Newport Arena. That is difficult to accept the pace your life is going.
But just you have to know, not to interrupt, but you have to know that whatever they're projecting is probably percentage-wise 30% worse than what they're saying on Instagram. So
Sure.
you just have to factor that in, and they look 30% worse than they do in the pictures they post in real life.
Yeah.
And that everything is just on this fake great thing. So,
Yeah.
as long as you can really know that that's true and give yourself a healthy break from it too. And sometimes it's good to just silence certain people, if they really activate you, but you can mute it. So it's not.
There should be a filter. A
What?
reality filter where all the people that make you jealous, you put them through the filter and they look worse. And
I know, but it's bad because it's also my, my very close friends. I have one of my best friends' wedding is this Saturday, and I'm obviously so happy for her, but I know she's going to be working on that baby as soon as they get married. So it's
What do you want? Friends aside, you want to meet someone and start having kids?
I mean, I have a partner. He's just not ready to have a baby yet, which is understandable. I get that. So I don't want to force that upon him until he's ready.
Has he said that he is going to provide that for you?
Yes.
That's nice.
Compare and despair is what they used to say in AA. All of the things that you're comparing yourself to are false. The extreme version is that the people that you think are happy because they're getting married might be in a terrible relationship. They might be having deep personal depression. All of that, and they might be totally happy and happier than you are. All of it is false information. And here's a thought. Natasha and I had 4 eggs when we finally were able to start trying to have kids, and then we tested them and we were down to 2 eggs, and then we put in the second to last egg, and we thought she was pregnant, and we were all excited, and then when she wasn't, we were all depressed, right? And then we had our kid, and I think to myself all the time, thank God that second to last egg failed, because then I wouldn't have met the person that lives with me now, who is the most important person in the world. I didn't want another kid. Now, had that kid come along, I would have been yay, I love this kid. I don't want the other one. But I never would have had our child if that first egg or those 2 eggs didn't die. We would have. So the point is, everyone's on their own timeline, and everybody's timeline is perfect. Not perfect in that you get what you want, perfect in that it's the thing for you. So the baby that you want now that your partner isn't ready to give you, it's the wrong baby, because the one you're going to have, or the marriage you're going to have, that's the one that you're supposed to have.
I would say, though, I would give him I would say, listen, I want to do this now, but I'll wait 3 years.
Yeah.
I would
we've definitely talked about that.
Okay, good.
For sure. Because I'm on a clock,
Well, no, it's and it's, it's up to you too.
So your issue,
You're the one who's going to be probably doing most of the work.
your real issue,
Most likely.
Your real issue is that you've accepted the timeline that your life is on, but now the other people's timeline is getting in the way of your acceptance. It's disrupting the thing that you thought you'd accepted, because you're looking at what they're broadcasting and thinking to yourself, oh man, I should be like
Yeah.
them.
And you know what? Like another part of it almost, and I know that this is like an insane thought to have, but it's almost like I feel like by the time I do have a baby, it's like everybody's just gonna be like, oh well, we've already all done that. Like, you know.
It's not an insane thought to have. It's just it's me to me. It's so easy for me to say because I'm not living in Bay Ridge with you. But it's just noise. It's just the noise of your little brain saying, doing this thing that brains like to do, which is, find things to be dissatisfied with when you are who you are. It's noise. Yeah. They're gonna do what? They're gonna not maybe. Another perspective is by the time I have the kid, they'll have already learned all these lessons. So I'm going to have a whole group of friends that can give me great ass advice instead of us all stumbling through the dark at the same time. Like there's all these different versions of it. Like you go, oh no, my kid isn't going to get to be playmates with these kids. But wait, my kid is going to get to be babysat by this kid. It's all a perspective thing.
Yeah.
And I think, compare and despair. That is my feeling. Natasha?
I just think staying off of Instagram as much as you can.
Instagram is designed to make you jealous.
It really is. I'll like open it. I see one post and then I'm like, okay, I guess I'm done for today. Like, thanks.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know, maybe check in. It's fun at the airport or I don't know, just try to communicate with your friends in other ways, like maybe through text chain or email or like plan something, try to not just have that be where you're talking to them, I guess.
I mean, jealousy is always based on a fantasy of yours, of how perfect everything else is. And that's what this is just jealousy, right? It's just, and it's an ugly emotion. It's an ugly emotion. It's one that I experience all the time. And it's like, I'm always getting jealous of somebody and then thinking like, do I want a different life? Because that's what you're really saying. It's like, oh, I wish I wasn't me. Well, it's like, you don't wish that. You don't actually wish that. You wish you have this great partner. You've got this timeline that is what it is. And it's all false. It's so false. They're not as happy as you think they are, and you wouldn't want their life anyway. Keeping in that framework, I think, is the secret to happiness. Radical self-acceptance.
I'm trying.
It's hard. It's harder now than it's ever been before because everybody is broadcasting a fake version of themselves. I mean, my Instagram, remember our Instagram, we would go camping and everybody would be texting Natasha going like, I can't believe how much fun and freedom you're having through the pandemic. And Natasha, meanwhile, is like, I hate camping. I'm desperate. We were both desperate. It's just like, it's all a broadcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard. But
I guess I'm like, I don't have anything to broadcast, even like a fake broadcast.
It's like that thing that Fran Lebowitz said, like, if you're jealous of somebody, you'd have to have everything like them. Like you'd also have to be jealous of, you would also have to have every other thing that they had, and you don't want to have all of that. So it's like you can't really judge it.
Yeah.
It's like everybody's on their own timeline and everybody's timeline is perfect. Like, the person that you're jealous of today could be divorced in 10 years. The person that you think is pathetic today could have the greatest life of ever in 10 years. And the real reality is when it comes to families, when it comes to your own future, like any attempt to think things should be different is saying that exactly where your life is going. But when you do, and if you do have a kid, the kid that you meet, you're going to be like, geez, if I had a kid 5 years ago, it wouldn't have been this kid. So who am I to say that this person who I think is so awesome, shouldn't have existed? And the same thing's true with you. The life that you have now is the life that's supposed to be existing. So I just think looking at somebody else's life and picking the best parts and thinking I should have that, you're basically saying that you wish that your life didn't exist. And your life seems like it's pretty fucking good. You got love. You live in Brooklyn. I don't know if you've seen the television program Girls, but Brooklyn, pretty exciting right now. So I just think it's hard. It's hard work and harder. It's the hardest it's ever been to accept your life on its own terms, but there's no other option. You don't get a different life. You got you. There's nobody else.
Totally.
All right. Well,
we hope we've helped.
Yeah.
Moshe turned into Tony Robbins over here, so hopefully he didn't freak you out too much.
No, not at all.
But
I like what you said.
Just try to be patient with yourself and maybe don't watch Instagram. Like have more boundaries with it. Like don't do it before you go to bed. Like I don't really log in at night really much.
That is such a good point. The amount of time you spend on Instagram, try to time it. Like, see how much time you're spending on Instagram. Take that, and let's say you find out you're looking at Instagram 10 hours a week. Try to spend 5 hours a week actively finding ways to accept and love yourself. You know, and give yourself the other 5 hours a week to look at your stupid, fucked up bitch friends with their perfect fucking lives with love and babies and all that shit. Allow yourself that indulgence. But with 5 hours a week, you know, work on a self-acceptance mantra or work on journaling or whatever it is. I almost guarantee. A creative project. Like, just shake up that time and use it to love yourself more. Because all those people whose lives are perfect, they aren't perfect, and you know that. And all you can do is make your own life more acceptable to you. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
For sure. Right. You're awesome. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
Moshe, you're so encouraging.
Well, I believe it. I mean, I know it's true. I mean, we both do that. I mean, everybody on earth has that experience of opening up Instagram in a good mood, seeing people that you care about doing things that you wish you were doing instead, and getting off Instagram being like, fuck my friends and fuck me. I mean, what a terrible reality we live in. When in reality, if I hadn't gotten on and instead I'd spent that time just looking at my own life, I would have been like, you know what? My life is pretty fucking awesome.
Right. Well, that means that you have to sometimes be disciplined with yourself. Like, I won't look at it at night, you know, or I'll only do it if I'm like bored or you know, once a day I'll check in or whatever that is, and then don't grab for it.
Yeah.
Because it makes you go down a rabbit hole, and then you forgot what you were doing. So you have to kind of just abandon your phone for blocks of hours.
Well, it's in the algorithm to make you upset, you know? I mean, it's in the algorithm to make you feel less than, so that you'll post more, so that people will think you're better than. And it's in the algorithm also of your own weird brain to want to click on things that make you upset. Just fucking ignore the noise. Easier said than done.
Yeah.
Speaking of life offline, I'm going to get off this podcast now.
All right. Well, I love you.
I love you too. Would you like to hang out more?
Yes. Let's walk outside.
Let's walk out into the grandeur of our lives.
All right. Let's do it.
Farewell, everyone.